Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're new in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with 13 wins and 4 losses for a win rate of 76.47%. So I am below my 85% weekly goal. But one of the days I had was pretty tough, but we'll get into that when we get into that. So we'll just get into it. Monday the 3rd, traded in his room. I said, make sure I have the 3rd up right here. Traded in his room. I say SPY puts into 595.50, which is right here. I must have called it up here or something, because 595 is right here. 50 is right down in this area. It's pretty close. I'm surprised I called it that soon, but I didn't take the puts. I should have taken them, but I didn't. It's Monday, the first trading day of the week. Normally we don't get a straight move like this. Usually we just get chop and traps, and that's why I usually sit out the first half an hour on the first trading day of the week. Notice I said trading day of the week. Sometimes it's Tuesday, sometimes it's Monday, depending if we have a holiday or not. But yeah, the first half an hour was already down here, so I waited. I didn't take anything until 11:21. I took calls, which is right here. We went to VWAP, got rejected, came back up, put in a higher low. So when it got over 594, I grabbed it. I grabbed the 59.80 calls at 550, and then went from 550 to 690. So that ended up being a pretty good play. Now I took puts at 1136, which should be right here. No, I was thinking over there. 1136 right here. I get why I took it here. I guess it failed to break out or pop through VWAP, and VWAP shut it down fast. We got all these bodies right here. We get the body, and the wick right here, and the body, this one. So once it got below 592.35, I was taking puts. I took the 5900 puts at 650, and they went from 650 to 860 right here. So that ended up being a good play. Then I took calls at 232, which is right here. The same thing here. We dropped, we popped. See, with this long wick, I don't think the candle went that high. All week long, we've had these massive wicks, like right here. It never bounced that high. It's just a fat finger or something the market makers have been doing, because it never bounced that high and dumped. There was quite a few candles this week that did this. So this was one of those what the hell candles right here. But it bounced up a little bit, and yeah, rejected 590, came back down, but it made a higher low right here. So when it got over 589.75, I was going to take calls. So I took the 59.20 calls at 720, and they went from 720 to 1120. That's up quite a bit right there. Anyways, yeah, at least making higher lows, but yeah, we just I gotta play the direction more. Stay in the direction till the direction changes. Right now, the direction hasn't changed. It looked like it was going to right here. It didn't there. Then it dumped right there, and it tried to make a change. It didn't. It dumped. So you know what? We just gotta play it until it changes. But what it's been doing is, it's been having almost all week long, 11:30, 12 o'clock reversal, whether it's up or down. If we're trending up the first couple hours, it's going to dump, and if it's trending down, it's going to pop. So that's the way it's been, not for Monday, but for the rest of the week, it's been like that for the most part. So Monday, not too bad. Tuesday, I stumbled a little bit. Every time I play SPY calls, or not even SPY calls, but every time I play SPY, I hate it. It doesn't go anywhere. But I did play Tesla, so I traded his room, getting ahead of myself on the 4th, right? The 4th, yep. SPY calls over 581.50, which is up here at this area. I must have been calling it really late in the day. Must have been calling it close to 9:20 after or something. What did I say? Calls? Yeah, I was expecting. Oh yeah, we have a. I mean, go to this chart. I am lagging something fierce. We're just in a massive downtrend. I thought we were gonna, we were going to have a dead cat bounce or a short squeeze or something, and we just didn't. So I was off most of the day, most of the week. So expecting a rally, and we weren't getting it. So, but yeah, it dumped here. I took calls at 10:30, which is right here. I'm not quite sure where I took it. I took the 576 SPY calls at 2:44. Then I stopped out at 2. And then it turns around and takes off. So yeah, that's kind of a pisser. But I did take puts at I took puts at 11:29 right here, right here. Okay, yeah, I tried to get a bounce right here, reversal, and it didn't. It dropped back down. So when it came back to here, I didn't take puts here, but when it popped up and came back down again, I thought for sure, because we're testing it 1, 2, 3, 4. This being the 5th time. And anytime you see it go to lower day and you have a green candle come back down really quickly, usually it flushes through. And this is when I took puts. I took the 56.90 puts at 650, and it popped. So I stopped out on those calls because I thought it was going to dump here, and I got puts here. Yeah, so I got trapped big time. Traps, and I just fell for the traps here big time. So I probably was a little premature taking the calls, but the puts, I think I would have taken that again over and over, because anytime you do see that happen, like right here, well, this didn't go down to lower day, but it's kind of the same scenario right here. Popped up, red candle, green candle, up to the area again, the previous candles, and it came back quickly, and look, it flushed through. So this was the same scenario right here. That's what I just showed you, but it just didn't happen that way. So then it just kept going. It didn't look back. But then I took Tesla calls at 105 on the 4th, which is right 105. Right here. I should have taken it when it threw a few up, but it popped up. And at 105, which is right here. So I took it over, I think over 272 is where I grabbed the calls. I grabbed the 280 calls at 610, and it went from 610 to $7 in that little pop. So I got Tesla, ended up being a good play. Just red day, not that great of a day. Then I took Tesla again, so but on Wednesday. So let's see. Wednesday, the 5th, traded his room. I said SPY calls of 579, which is up here. Just waiting for that dead cat bounce. And I think that was my downfall for this week. I should have just waited, not try to anticipate or try to predict too much. But usually when we're beaten down that much on the hourly or the daily, we have a massive 2 or 3 day short squeeze, like massive $10 to $12 green candles. And we just didn't have it, but we did right here. But anyways, first trade of the day was Tesla. I took Tesla, and SPX. To add another thing, SPX was so expensive this week. I had to play SPY, I had to play Tesla, I had to play 50 to 100 points out of the money, because at the money was $25 to $30 usually. On a low IV, you can get at the money at open around $8, and it's 25 to 30. So it was ridiculous. In order to get that I like to get buy options right around the $5 to $7, preferably 5 to 6. But sometimes when things are too expensive, 6 to 7 is the next area. I prefer to buy in that area, and I don't like buying $10 to $15 options. I mean, I can, and I obviously will, but if I do it for the room, because most people in the room cannot afford $1,000 contracts, so I kind of keep it on the cheaper side. So and plus I'm just used to playing that way. So, but anyways, I go over to traded his room. Yeah, I did. I took Tesla what 942, which is right here. No, right here when it came back up. Let me pull this up. Your first 2 minute candles right here, and when it got over 573, that's when I grabbed calls. I grabbed the 280 calls at 6:30, and at 6:30, and then from 6:30 to 8:40. So that ended up being a good play. Then I took SPY puts at 959, which is right here. 959. Not quite sure why I took it here. I mean, I get if I took it underneath 576, but I had the 575 puts. So why was I going down here? Why was I down here? What's the previous day look like? See, it's not even down to 575. I don't know. But I would say I had to grab it at the tail end of this candle because it closed right here. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, I took the 575 puts at 280, then I ended up stopping out at $1.50. And then it ended up dropping, and I think they went green, but again, took an unnecessary loss. But I did take puts, SPX puts at 1021, which is right here. So yeah, I took it here. I stopped out on this pop, but when it came back down, underneath 576, that's when I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 5,700 puts at $8. And then it went against me, and when it popped, I added, no, at 11. No, I added over here. One of the times this week I added when it was up to the higher part of the range. Now I bought here, it popped up. When it came back down, I added. So I bought it at $8 here. Then when it came back down underneath 576 again, I added at $5. And they went from $5 to, sorry. I got sidetracked. I got to get back on track. When they got right here into 576, I added at $5 to make my new average 650, and that ended up being a good add. And those puts went from 650 to 960, so I got a $3 plus move. So I was very happy about that. Then I took calls on Tesla at 206, so it had to be right here. Yeah, right here. When I got over the actually no, I took it over 276. I remember this right here. I remember this play. So yeah, I took the Tesla 280 call at 620 over 276, and then went from 620 to 760 right there. So that ended up being a good play. Minus the SPY puts, I'm not quite sure what happened with that. That's a head scratcher on that. Then Thursday, hopefully my microphone is still working. I had to click a couple things. Okay. Thursday the 7th, traded his room, SPY calls. Oh, what? I did not post anything on the 6th. Oh yeah, I did. I posted the next day. I posted that late at night. Yeah, I played. Let's see. Me getting ahead of myself. My mind is all over the place right now. SPY calls over 578 and traded his room, which is up here. Probably have to back out to see why I picked that level. Yeah, 578 right here. Still looking for that big bounce, and I took calls at 951, which was right here. It dropped, when it came back over high a day right here at the 575, 60-ish area. I grabbed the 576 calls at 280, and then it dropped a little bit, then it popped and ended up being a good winner. So they went from what, 280 to $5. Then I took Tesla calls at 1049. 1049, which is right. 1049. Right here. Not, oh, I see why I took it here, because it's breaking high a day. I took the Tesla 275 calls at 505 over 272, and I ended up stopping out at 290. just reversed and dump. I thought it was going to pop and break out. Tesla, it was another thing I was waiting for a big bounce because the RSI on Tesla's daily was below 30, and the RSI on the SPY's daily was under 35, which is very rare for both of those to be in the oversold conditions on the daily chart, because they're not there often. And when they are, it's a good time to get something long term, because you look at the daily chart. I don't have RSI on my charts because I don't really pay attention to it. Is that they're not under 30 maybe once or twice a year, if that. So, and every time they do dip below 30 RSI on the daily, they end up having a major bounce, a major V rally on the daily. So it just ends up being opportunities. So covered the Tesla calls on the loss. I took puts at 1203, which is right here, down here, right when it broke lower day. I got the 5700 puts at 630, and they went from 630 to 950. So that ended up being a good play. Yeah, that was chasing. I wasn't looking for the short right here. We've been getting really massive candles. Another thing that SPY has been doing is that they'll get, like right here, they'll get a big news event, and they'll get everybody chasing, and then they'll slam it. Then something else will come and go the other way. So anytime we have news drop and we have an exaggerated move, don't chase it, because it ends up going the opposite way when it's all said and done. And yeah, we have all these red candles, and I was just like, okay, those are some pretty deep candles. If it breaks lower day, it's probably going to end up breaking more. Yeah, it could definitely bounce too, but it's just every pop on SPY this week has been getting crapped on. So why not just keep crapping on it some more? So I took the 5700 puts right there, like I said, from 630 to 950. That ended up being a good play. Then I put puts again at 335, which is right here. I think I was using these candles right here underneath 572.35. When it broke below that, I took puts. I took the 57.25 puts at 470, and they went from 470 to 930 in that little play, being end of day that moved so much better. So yeah, that ended up being an okay day beside the Tesla loss. Friday, Trade Ideas room. I didn't even trade Ideas. I mean, I traded Ideas. I didn't even trade SPX on Friday because it was way too expensive. So I just traded Tesla and QQQ. But Trade Ideas room, not even going to go. I already changed the chart. First play on Friday was Tesla calls over 933. I said I was going to take calls over, I think it was 262 or 264. I'm not quite sure. 264 maybe. I took the 265 calls at 380, and then went from 380 to 460. So yeah, I probably took it up at the 264 area. So you got almost $1 move out of that, 80 cents. So that's pretty good. I'm not going to complain. Then I played QQQ, which is right here. I took the 487 puts at 1030, which is right here when it broke lower day. The 487 puts went from $2.80 to $5 on that dump right here, and this was a news thing, and if you chase this, you just got crapped on. So this was something that happened. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the delay of the tariffs or some stuff like that. I don't remember. And it fell off. And I took puts again at 1118, which is right here when it got underneath 484. Actually underneath 484.50. I took the 485 puts at $3, and they went from $3 to $5.55. So I got a $2 plus move out of that. So yeah, I caught lower day here. News, fake news. I mean, people probably saw delay in tariffs, and they're like, oh, we're going to go V-rally, we're going to go back to higher day. They bought a bunch of calls. Then it craps on them. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Be careful of the news pops. Don't chase them, because they end up selling off. And it caught the lower day right here. So it was a pretty good week here and there. Just a couple days, couple questionable trades. A SPY puts one I took, and Tuesday was the day that had probably the worst day, which is, I think, my only red day for the week. So with that said, that's going to do it for the recap. And thanks for watching.